Wow. That was loud. It's January the 20th. What? January the 20th, 2017? No. Jesus, no, it can't be 2017. What? Where did the last couple of decades go? We spent it screaming and fighting, divided. And it wasn't an accident, no? Hi for everybody. Hugs. Everybody out there. They say you're not real because you're on the internet. You don't exist. I'm not here. Little D humanoid robot is not on my desk, skating around. And Starbucks stores didn't remove the tables and chairs because of what Fox was implying. It was, I'll beat everything up. They said the chairs and tables was because they're expecting a lot of people, not because of violence. So how did it become news? Why would it become news? How could that be news? So how is this news? Hi everybody. Little D is back. Elaine is right. Little D is back. Hi Elaine. I'm your author, M. Thirst. Hi everyone. And so Ellen tributes to the Obama. So this is fake news because it's not Ellen. Ellen is a big-time studio, ITV2, NBC Universal. It's not Ellen. Ellen's just someone that got there for this show. Ellen, with no dissent, period. In this case, but they got herds of people they can have there for moderating, but they won't do it because the stuff she used in the video is disingenuous. We got some really wild stuff tonight, though, coming up right away, but the dog's purpose, a terrified German Shepherd. And if anybody watched that video, links are below to these stories. And that one's next, but a dog's purpose, terrified German Shepherd. Now, I'm not trying to. I just want to tell a story about one of my dogs years ago when I was really young. I was like 14 years old. And we have no cars, so you have to hunt for food, birds, rabbits, ducks, saltwater birds, climb the mountain for partridge, Arctic hare, stuff like that. But anyway, that dog would swim out the harbor on the east coast of Canada, minus 30, in bad weather, in a heartbeat, if you thought I was going to stop the speedboat and wait for him. And just the chance that he could trick me into turning around and coming back, the dog would chase after me. But what they done here was they forced the dog into a man-made environment. There's lots of people there to help the dog and everything else, but it's still wrong. Shouldn't be doing stuff like that with animals. It's not like a human where they consent and they got training and shallow water. They know how to stand up, blah, blah, blah. With an animal, it's just wrong. But, I mean, the problem with it was there's so much animal abuse. 144 beagle dogs in this study, and they were given man-made radiation, and they all died within 5 years. And that was mostly by Raymond Gilmedy from Loveless Respiratory Research Institute. And did I lose my way already that quick? Hang on, where the hell did that go? Oh, there you go, I'm there. I smurfed up. Okay. 6 must try Japanese food. It's a really strange story. This is a really, really, really strange story. Because Iwate, July 24th, was described as a hot zone. The same place. This is supposed to be an evacuation zone, so it shouldn't be trending on YouTube or anywhere else. Very dangerous to send people there. 119 of 132 people positive from sampling surveys of radioactive substances in their urine. Hang on, we're almost there. Let's go to the next one. And so this story, just finding 1 out of 132 would be bad, but having 119, but that's we understand that part of it. The mortality rising in that very region, very likely the number of mortality. I mean, there was 12,000 excess deaths in that area, right? We covered that. Excuse me. And those are the prefectures that are radiation contaminated right above it. Right? 3 groups of children from the previous year, Iwate, the same spot. So they shouldn't be eating the food or selling the food. The whole area is contaminated. And even if they just took it out of the basket, the radiation is still in the environment, will land on it. And this is very, very dangerous for very, very long periods. Now, this story is interesting. 3 Danas. Yeah. Thanks, Debbie. Was Hot Rod Adams hanging out with the Doc Ray? I don't know. I got to look that up. I'm thinking about finishing up Rod Adams. We've done 6 videos on that. And finishing up that radio show tomorrow. It was a thought crossed my mind the last couple of days. Because I got it all still sitting on my computer. I'm not going to give it up or something. But we're trying to move in to a less stressful environment. We're switching gears. We'll be up to food speed next week with these half-an-hour shows. This is a new show, Fake News, Late Show. Pretty catchy, eh? Yeah? Okay. So we're 10 minutes in. That's pretty good. I am happy to meet violence with violence. Wow. And he's not kidding. Let's listen to what he has to say. Or, I'm sorry, hang on. Let's tell that story. So, Gavin McInnes gets into a fist fight at the Deplorable. This is Luke Luke was there, took the footage. And Luke Roginsky, anybody's not familiar, and whatever. He's We Are Changed. There's like 700 chapters. But he's the big mama bear. And so you see highlighted in the first paragraph, engaging in a fist fight initiated by a protester, the beginning of which we were not able to capture on film. Okay. A fist fight. Not able to capture on film. Okay. So the link is below. We're going to play the video coming up. It gets into a fist fight. And this is just screen captures for context for me. They're going inside, right out the door. Let's come back one or two. Should be right here. So he's got his finger up. We're going to play this video coming up. And then he pushes him. Now the protester doesn't appear to have attacked him. And so we're going to play just that tiny part, full speed, to your right. Now see how fast. Now he comes back, but the other guy is yelling at him. He's coming back. And he's throwing a lot of punches. Let's slow it down. Let's slow this down. We're down to 25%. And there's no need to use zoom on this one, so we'll just sit back on it. I'm going to be stopping it. Now, he's got his face hit away. And now he's got his hand open. It's pretty obvious at this stage, there's no fist fight. There's no one throwing punches. There's no attack imminent. Yeah? So. Oh, let's do that again. My mistake. So they're walking down the sidewalk. This is Luke's camera where he said they don't got the beginning of the fight. And now he sticks it. Now that's Gavin sticking his finger up. This is really important that I don't keep friggin' doing that. Let's get to that point where he sticks his finger up. He walking by. He sticks his finger up. He rushes in. Now that's assault. That's assault. Now this is rebel media. That's why you immediately want to do a double take. The minute you hear it's from rebel media, these are known agitators and instigators. Okay, let's keep watching. Now, he walks away. The guy got a sign, but he's not hitting him or trying to hit him. He's just calling him, what the frig is wrong with you type. Now, Gavin, you've seen it now, but there's something about his punches is really friggin' strange. But, okay. He's not trying to use power. It's about posturing for the camera, maybe. Now, that was assault because he didn't have to go back and hit the guy. He didn't have to go back and attack the guy. He wasn't under threat. He wasn't under threat, and he got a whole bunch of people telling him to shut up. Galvin's a Superman. And Gavin goes walking off. Okay. Now let's listen to Gavin for a bit.
The fact that these guys got away with one punch, shows how totally rational we are.
The fact that they got away with one punch. Well, let's count the punches that Gavin throws. Because the other guy didn't throw any punches, even though Luke called it a fist fight. And said he started, the protester started it. Gavin started it by putting his finger up That's assault. You can have someone charged for doing that to you. That's actually assault, and people have been charged and convicted because that's an aggravating move, yeah? Now, that is definitely assault. The other guy is not trying to punch back. He's in a defensive posture. He's withdrawn his head like the turtle, and his shoulders are hunched. He brought both arms in close to his body. But he seems to be smiling and laughing. Okay. The other guy, now there's a lot of camera angles. Who knows what's going to show up later? But it's pretty obvious from what we're looking at. We Are Change is not being honest. Now, that's the first punch coming. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3. 3 punches for sure. That's one more boot. There's something really strange with the way he throws those punches. Right, hyperextending his arm, but not... And you don't hyperextend your arm. You never do that for power. It's about 95% or something. Okay, now he says...
The fact that these guys got away with one punch, shows how totally rational we are.
He's talking about... He's claiming... He's justifying it after... that he's justifying it by saying we only punched him once.
I'll be bringing anything I can legally bring for my...
Now he's talking about going here and where the protesters are going to be, and he can't bring guns or knives, so he's got to bring a weapon.
I'll be bringing anything I can legally bring for my defense. I mean, you can't bring a knife or a gun, but you can bring a large flashlight, and there's all kinds of other tools you can bring to fight them. But I'm happy to meet violence with violence. And these guys, what's amazing about them is they're not scared. Like, they're picking a fight with us, and they assume that we're going to be the same beta male cucks that they are and shy away. I'm happy to fight any of them. And even when these bikers, I can't remember how many it was.
So he looks like he's trying to get protesters to attack, or people to attack the protesters that they see there. And to use anything, because you can't bring a gun or a knife, so bring stuff you could use. And then he's...
The fact that these guys got away with one punch,
Now, it wasn't one punch. He attacks him, sticks his finger up, pushes him, but he says, frig you, fuck you, and then he punches him. At least 3 good times. And then he went inside. It's really telling, right? That finger, that's really telling. And then the police came by and pepper sprayed everybody. Hang on. See those 2 cops there? That's as they're walking away. That's their camera shot. And the cops were headed right over to that guy. They just moved away from him. The cops ignored Luke, who got the camera in his hand, and the guy that was throwing all the punches, and they're heading into that guy who didn't throw any punches. Right? The links are below. You can go watch it. And then this cop points and tells them the door is right behind him, right away. He was watching it. And then then they're going through the door, inside. And there's Luke. Gets into a fist fight. And so it's like, this is really strange stuff, yeah? Gets into a fist fight. Luke claims that Buddy initiated the fight. Initiated by a protester, the beginning of which we were not able to capture on film, but he did. We just played it. Let's play it one more time. Think about that statement. We were not, the third sentence, the beginning of which we were not able to capture on video. And tell me, did they capture the beginning of the fight on video? They're walking down the sidewalk, and then he put his finger up and he went after him. And then, now that protester might have been planted. He might very well be planted by rebel media. And so, isn't that interesting, though? Right? You gotta admit, that's pretty interesting. Not as weird as seeing all these weird angles. Right? That's kind of weird, because even no matter which angle you come at this. So that's an air board. It's like a skateboard with the wheels sideways. It's an absolute lifesaver. Totally made my life a hell of a lot better immediately. And it just gets better all the time. It's so, seeing as we're in this position right now where we ran through the stories today. Yeah, that was all fake news. But it is interesting that Luke is out pawning, and then Galvin is up on InfoWars. Hang on. At some point I'll get it. Galvin is a star player with Luke when a fist fight breaks out. And where's that? Oh, there's friggin' up here. And then he showed up with David Knight, right? On InfoWars defending it. And says, I'm happy to meet violence with violence. Uses those actual words. And encourages violence. But he's the guy. Now, I agree. You know, the protesters the majority of them have been incited. But some of them are paid. And there's no way you can change that. And becoming violent is not going to change anything. If you go listen to the rhetoric, it's really dangerous talk. Now, think about what happened to me. I was accused of inciting violence, and I was arrested and demonized and vilified and marginalized, and thousands of fucking dollars and 15 hotel rooms and traveling 12 ferries. They fucking barbarized me, yeah? And I didn't do no such thing. It was about covering it up, right? And so they're just doing a different tactic. It's pretty obvious, Luke. We Are Change is corrupt. That's really obvious. Luke faked it all. That's fake news, folks. It's heartbreaking, right? Because you're supposed to be able to trust Luke, no doubt, right? And We Are Change and InfoWars, David Knight, to get away with free. Oh, yeah, it's okay for you to use violence at the DNC or at the presidential election. It looks so much like everything was staged. All of these look like complete actors. But who knows the guy? Because the way he throws his punches with the arm hyperextended, no one does that. Not like, you don't do that. You don't, unless you're really drunk or maybe. But you would do that if you were trying to make it look good on a camera. But that's not how you throw a punch, right? You throw a punch. You use momentum from your body. Hang on. So if you're going to throw a punch, you throw a punch with your body, you throw it, right? And then you're following through, right? So if you throw a back fist, you come right behind it with a fist. If you throw a fist, you back fist right behind it in the same, centered in the same spot. But he's not doing nothing like that, and he's hyperextending his joints, and you don't do that either. And you don't do that if you're excited, and you don't do that if you're being attacked or you're attacking somebody, because you can hurt your joint and you can't fight no more, and you're vulnerable. So why did he do it? Because he wasn't throwing real punches, and that was a fake staged event. And why did Luke come out and claim that he was in a fist fight and a protester started it? Posting the video was to cover up the crime. So Gavin should be arrested and charged and prosecuted the full extent of the law. And that should be done immediately. And that's the right thing to do with this person. He's obviously up to something bad. He's inciting violence. And then even after, he's justifying it, says he's happy to meet violence with violence, but lies about how many punches were thrown. And Luke lied to cover it up. And then the examples he used was in the attempt to justify his actions, caught on many cameras. But yet he's allowed a free pass. It's pretty interesting anyway. And my voice is horrible tonight. Yeah, I won every fight I was ever in. I was a punching bag for 6 years. One of the best in Canada. Never touched him once for 6 years. That don't mean anybody else got to fuck with me, but I sparred with that guy over and over and over. I never hit him a single time. That's how good. Like, there's some people out there who are that good. But nobody ever knocked me down or knocked me out in my lifetime. And I've been through the ringer. I've been in tournaments many, many, many times. No one's ever knocked me out. No one's beat me, period. And I come from a tough family, tough neighborhood. But that's irrelevant, long time gone anyway. So, hugs for everybody. You gotta watch out. People will be chopping that out and using it against me coming up. Well, we made it through the night, got in on time. Pretty well got this all set up, kinda. We got the microphones coming. We raised 200. Like to raise another 150. Links are below to donate. You can donate with your credit cards, like we've been doing for many years, 3 years, paid for everything. Nobody's disappointed. Everybody's worked out perfectly. It's a legitimate site. You can do it with PayPal. Links are below my video. Beautiful Girl by Dina on YouTube. Hugs for everybody. Elaine Amthurst. Elaine Shanikin in the blue. She's moderating. Dorm. Dude. Stacy. Jace. Hugs for everybody. Thank you, everybody. And we have switched gears. Now we're doing fake news. Don't think that things have changed, because they haven't. We just gonna come out. Hi, Nip Killer. We gotta come out and hit them with a different perspective. We gotta approach it in a more sneakier way. And so one of that is to come out and introduce stories about Fukushima while talking about all of those stories we're talking about are trending stories today. And it's always about Fukushima with me. You don't know much about me, you can find lots more at thenuclearproctologist.org. I'm a nuclear specialist, but I like frigging around too. And so we're probably going to do another show in the weekend, but it'll be one of those weird ones where it goes for hours, because I need to finish out that Rod Adams story and have that out there. And so, because I can't move on unless I do it, unless I finish it out, right? That's how it works with me. I have to finish out things that I start. There's no middle ground. So at some point, I got to do that Rod Adam. It's all sitting there. Might as well get it out of the way. Hugs for everybody.